Okay guys, I did a commentary the other day with my best friend. It was kind of brief, didn't really talk about anything EJami. And I thought I'd go ahead and cover some of the things that I've heard. I've read that something about her running into Rafe and crying. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what's going to come of that. A lot of people are speculating on what that'll be. I'm not making too much of it because of the fact that like I've said, Ken Corday has made it clear where he's going with this. So, I'm kind of trusting him, and which is sometimes probably not a good idea, but trusting him to lead EJami into the right direction. And I feel like that's going to happen. I think that things are rolling along pretty smoothly. I'm kind of at a loss as to why they still go back to the whole her being torn between two men. It's always between somebody and somebody else, and I'm not really sure why they continue that whole formulaic snore fest, but they do. But we know how it's going to turn out. I'm really starting to think that that Rafe and Nicole, I've always thought that something was going to come of that if they didn't bring Carrie back, and so I'm really starting to think that's what they're going to do, is they're going to put Rafe and Nicole together, which honestly, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that pairing. I mean, you put him with anybody but Sammy and I'll be okay, but I hate to admit it, in some ways I really do like Nicole. I think I always will, but I don't want them to put her with somebody stupid. But the thing is, like, you think about her and Eric, and I don't know. But so I've been thinking, that they're going to be going pretty slow with this, and which is what James Scott and Allison Sweeney had asked them to do, and I think that that's the most appropriate thing for them to do, especially with a pairing like this that has been through so much and has done so much to each other, and I think that they're on the right track. I think the main purpose of this commentary is kind of, to look back from EJami then, back in 2006, to EJami now. And, so much has happened since 2006, the first meeting, and just everything with Lucas, and, the phony marriage, and just all of it. You look back on it, and Grace. I think I was thinking on the drive home about one of my favorite scenes between EJ and Sammy, which was when Sammy revealed to EJ that Grace was his, and they had that big blowout fight. I really enjoyed that scene. It was very powerful. I really, really liked it. And of course, Rafe standing over the corner like, who? But I really, really enjoyed that scene. Another thing that I look back on is, a lot of people talk about it, is that, they've only shared 2 real love scenes, and I don't even think this last one in 2011 was even a love scene. I look back on that, and, I'm kind of glad that they've held off on all that, because I think that if you're given so much of one thing all at once, I feel like you get bored with it. And I think that's one reason why people are so bored with Safe, is because it's so repetitive, it's so typical, it's so I don't really even know what the word is that I'm looking for. Predictable. I mean, you can expect the same thing every single time. The horrible acting that Gallon is so famous for. Facial expressions, lack thereof, if you would like to go there too. But I'm thinking that, of all the things that have happened and the disappointment that we've all gone through in terms of EJami, them being put together, and they were only put together because, Sammy was trying to get over Rafe, or she, it leaves me speechless sometimes, because, so many people are so dedicated to EJami, but all they know how to do is complain about, every little thing, and even when they've had their scenes together, there's always some type of complaint. You can't expect Sammy, especially, you know the character, you've known her for years. A lot of you have been watching ever since, she was a teenager. And you can't expect somebody to just change overnight. I think that if anything, that them holding true to her personality and her mistakes and her flaws and the way that she does things, I think that's a understandable thing to do. I wouldn't want them to change her overnight. The only thing that I don't like about them changing her is when they make her into a Stepford wife for Rafe. Or she's always constantly trying to do something to prove to Lucas that she's different. How many times has EJ said, I want you because of who you are? That's precisely why I want you. It's because of who you are. And, that's such a beautiful thing to have, a pairing like that, yes, we've been denied for, 6 years. But the time's come. And, they've done their wishy-washy, pairings of, EJ and Nicole, EJ and Taylor, Sammy and Rafe, Sammy and Lucas. I think that it was all a big test to see if we'd stick around, and we did. And I'm thinking that a lot is going to progress. And I'm actually quite impressed with the fact that Caroline is not being biased. In terms of her coming to her and saying, I'm torn between these two people. I'm in love with both of them, and I don't know what to do. And instead of saying, you need to be with Rafe. You need to be with Rafe. He's the good guy. She's saying, you have to pick one. And it needs to be the right one. It needs to be the one that you want to be with. I'm impressed with that they're doing that with Caroline. I really am. But so much has changed. That they've both matured, not as characters, but as actors. I feel like they've changed a lot. And I look back on a lot of their older videos and separate, not just as a couple, but as just two characters blooming on this show that we're so dedicated to. But they're great, and I've really enjoyed the entire big, beautiful mess that we've all been through. And so many of us have, we've fought each other, we've yelled at each other because we're so upset about the way things are turning out. And so many people were very skeptical about what I had to say and what other people had to say. And I'm not going to quit doing commentaries because people are skeptical. That comes with it. And you can remain skeptical until it actually happens. I completely understand why you wouldn't, want to just get your hopes up like that. I get it. But I appreciate everything that everybody's done, and the support that I have gotten, and the people that have been skeptical, they haven't been rude, and I appreciate that as well. But I just want to get a lot of that out and say that I think that a beautiful time is coming, and I think a lot of us are, yes, skeptical, but we won't be disappointed, and I think that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So all we have to do is sit back and watch and wait and see what happens. But I think that we're gonna like the result. So let's just keep watching, and this next week I'm really looking forward to seeing the scenes. I haven't seen any spoilers posted lately, so but if you have, go ahead and leave a comment if you want to go ahead and educate me, because I may be missing something. But yeah, I'm feeling good about it. So leave your comments, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, follow me on Twitter. Go ahead and watch my video with me and my best friend if you haven't watched it yet. She is such a hoot, and I really enjoyed having her on, and she had such a blast. And it's her first video ever on YouTube, and I really like it if you guys will at least go watch it, and show your love and support like you always do. I really just appreciate all of you and everything that you've done, and just keep it up because I really enjoy it. Follow me on Twitter, like I said, 3B_queen. Catch you guys later.